Good morning, students. Welcome back. Today in this session, we will discuss our play The Tempest by William Shakespeare, and we will discuss Act 1, Scene 1, lines 34 till 69. Children, before starting this session, I would like to mention that you have to read your text thoroughly so that you can quote important lines from it in your exam to get good marks. Now let us see the objectives of this session. By the end of this session, you will be able to explain the meaning of the difficult words according to the text, tell some of the references that we have read in the text, explain the text in your own words. So children, till now we have read that the play opens on board a ship at sea in the midst of a fierce storm, that is the tempest. It is a noisy scene. The captain of the ship is telling the boatswain to inspire the crew of the ship to be alert and to fight the storm. The boatswain gives orders to whom, children? To his mariners. The royal passengers are aboard. And who are the royal passengers, children? They are Alonso, the king of Naples, Ferdinand, his son, Sebastian, his brother, Antonio, the usurping Duke of Milan, Gonzalo, Alonso's old courtier, and other royal passengers. As the scene continues, these royal passengers appear on the deck, where Alonso, the king of Naples, speaks to the boatswain. The boatswain does not show any respect to him and orders all the royal passengers to return to their cabin, which they do not like. Gonzalo, an old courtier, says that the boatswain is so rude that he must be destined to be hanged. Now let us see the next lines. Now let us see the word meanings of the next lines. The next line starts from down till our office. So see the first meaning. Down with the topmast. The topmast is taken down to give the ship lighter weight and to enable her to keep off the land. Yare, quick. Lower, lower. It is anaphora. To try with main course, the mainsail will make the ship close to the wind. Main course means mainsail. A plague means a curse. This howling means the screaming of the passengers. They are louder than the weather of our office. This is a simile. They are shouting louder than the storm or the seamen while doing their duties. So who are shouting louder? The royal passengers. What do you hear? What are you doing here? Give over, give up our efforts, or stop trying. Now let us see the lines. Now here, boatswain enters the scene and Gonzalo with his other courtiers exit. Now what does boatswain say? He says, down with the topmast. Yare, lower, lower. Bring her to try with main course. So here, children, the boatswain is telling his sailors, to the mariners, to lower the topmost down and to bring the ship in a stationary situation with the help of main course, means the main sail. Meanwhile, there is a cry within. So who cries here? The royal passengers who are below in the cabin. A plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather of our office. Now what does boatswain say here? Boatswain remarks that the courtiers are crying in their distress louder than his voice and louder even than the roaring of the storm. So weather here is referred to the storm. Re-enter Sebastian, Antonio and Gonzalo. So now royal passengers Sebastian, Antonio and Gonzalo enters the scene. And now what does boatswain say to them? He says, "Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give over and drown? Have you a mind to sink?" Here the boatswain asks the reason of their arrival on the deck. He asks their purpose of coming there. And he tells them, should he stop his efforts in saving the ship? Or do they have a mind to sink? Means boatswain, he does not like the presence of the royal passengers on the deck. Now let us see the gist of these lines. The boatswain re-enters the scene and tells the crew to bring down the topsail quickly so that the ship is in line with the wind using the mainsail. He hears the noise made by the royal passengers below deck and curses them for distracting them from their duties, as their noise is louder than the storm. Gonzalo, Sebastian and Antonio enters the scene. The boatswain asks their purpose of coming on the deck. He gets irritated and asks if his crew shall cease their efforts and let the ship get wrecked. Now let us discuss the word meanings from "a pox on your throat to lay her off." A pox on your throat means a curse on your shouting. Bowling means howling or noisy. Blasphemous, talking impiously. Incharitable, hard-hearted, unsympathetic. Incharitable dog is a metaphor. Boatswain is compared to a dog. Hang, cur, hang. It is anaphora. Go and be hanged, you cur. Cur here refers to dog. Whoreson, son of a prostitute. Insolent, disrespectful. We are less afraid to be drowned than you art. It is simile. I warrant him than a nutshell. It is simile. Gonzalo tells his companions that this man, here refers to boatswain, will not drown even if the ship were as frail as a nutshell. He means to say that the boatswain is destined to die by hanging on the gallows, and thus this man is destined to die by hanging on the gallows and will not get drowned. Now let us discuss another meaning. Lay her a hold. It means keep the ship close to the wind. This is another technical expression of seafaring men. Set her to courses means set both the foresail and the mainsail. Off to sea again, off. They had been gradually approaching the land, and now the boatswain wishes to change the course and steer into the open sea again. Now let us discuss the lines. Sebastian. A pox on your throat, you bowling, blasphemous, incharitable dog. So Sebastian is saying to boatswain. Now what does he say? He says that may his throat be diseased. He calls him noisy. Blasphemous means talking impiously, and he calls him an unfeeling dog. Sebastian says all these words to boatswain. Now what does boatswain say? Work you then. Now what does he say? He says okay, then they should come and take over his duties. Antonio. Hang, cur, hang, you whoreson, insolent noise maker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art. Now what does Antonio says to boatswain in reply? He says that he may be hanged. Who may be hanged, children? The boatswain will be hanged, and he calls him a dog. Then he says, he curses him and says him a son of a prostitute. Insolent means rude, noise maker, who is more afraid to be drowned than the royal passengers. Gonzalo, I will warrant him for drowning. Thou the ship were no stronger than a nutshell, and as leaky as an unstanched wench. Now what does Gonzalo say, children? He says that this man, refers to boatswain, will not drown even if the ship were as weak as a nutshell. So this is a simile. And he says one more thing, and as leaky as an unstanched wench. It is simile as well as pun. So Gonzalo deliberately reveals an information, and this is also a pun. Leaky here refers to leaky ship and an unfaithful woman who cannot hold back a secret. Unstanched wench refers to a young woman who is faithless because she cannot hold a secret. So this phrase is simile as well as pun. Boatswain, lay her a hold, set her 2 courses off to sea again, lay her off. So the boatswain tells the sailors to pull the ropes and set the ship's foresail as well as its mainsail so as to carry it off to the sea again. So boatswain is making all efforts to save the ship from the wreck. Now let us see gist of these lines. Sebastian, Antonio and Gonzalo enter again on the deck. The boatswain does not like their presence and asks their purpose of coming on the deck. Sebastian and Antonio curse the boatswain in his labors. Sebastian curses him to be afflicted with a horrible disease, and Antonio calls him a dog who is more fearful of drowning than them. Gonzalo guarantees that the boatswain will not drown if the ship were no stronger than a nutshell. The boatswain does not bother about what they say and continue his efforts of saving the ship. Now let us see the next slide. So the word meanings are from all lost till 10 tides. Now let us see the word meanings. All lost to prayers, all lost. Must our mouths be cold? This is anaphora. Must our mouths be cold in death? Can nothing save us from drowning? Or must we resort to the chilling device of offering prayers at the crisis? What crisis are they facing? Their ship is going to be wrecked. For our case is as theirs because we face the same danger as they. Merely means absolutely cheated of our lives by drunkards. Going to perish simply because of these drunkards men. Antonio unjustly accuses the sailors of being drunk. White chopped, big mouthed. Chop is a vulgar or slang expression for the lips. The washing of 10 tides. For such a period as 10 tides might wash over you. Pirates were hanged on the shore at low water mark and left until 3 tides had washed them. 10 times would, in Antonio's view, intensify the severity of punishment. Now let us see the lines. Enter mariners wet. All lost to prayers all lost. Mariners tell boatswain that there is no hope of their survival and only what can save them, children? Prayers. Boatswain, what must our mouths be cold? Now what does boatswain say? He says that can nothing save them from drowning? So here the boatswain asks mariner that are they going to die? And he asks them, has the time come that they all have to say prayers? Children, in Christianity, they say prayers before death. So he asks Mariner that has the time come that they should say prayers. See the next dialogue, Gonzalo. The king and prince had prayers. Let us assist them, for our case is as theirs. Now what does Gonzalo say? He says the king, who is king here children? The king here refers to Alonso, king of Naples. So king and prince, who is prince here children? Prince here refers to Ferdinand. So they are doing prayers and Gonzalo tells others that they should go and join them in prayers because they face the same danger as they are facing. Sebastian, I am out of patience. So Sebastian has lost his patience. Antonio, we are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. So he is accusing the mariners and he is telling them drunkards. This white-chapped rascal, would thou mightest lie drowning the washing of 10 times. So white-chapped rascal, it means a person who shows lack of respect. So turning to boatswain, what does Antonio say? That he wishes that he would be lie drowned till his dead body, means whose dead body children? The boatswain's dead body has been washed 10 times by the flow and ebb of the tides. So it refers to the severity of the punishment and I have discussed its reference in your word meanings. Now let us see the gist of these lines. Some mariners enter wet and crying and tell the boatswain that there is no hope of their survival. Gonzalo orders the mariners to join the king and the prince in prayers. Antonio blames mariners for their condition. He also blames the boatswain and curses him that he were to lie drowned till his dead body has been washed 10 times by the ebb and flow of the tide. Now let us discuss the word meanings of the next slide. So the lines start from he will be hanged till die a dry death. Thou every drop till him, it means thou every drop of water in the sea threatens him and opens its mouth to devour him. Gape at widest, it means open its mouth as wide as possible. Glut, swallow. We split, it is repetition. Split means go to pieces. Furlongs, an eighth of a mile. Long means hither any rough and wild vegetation. Now let us see the next slide. Heath, a coarse grass like plant. Broom, plant with large yellow flowers. Furze, it means plant with golden blossoms and sweet flowers often found in neglected grounds. Gonzalo would welcome an acre of weeds as supplying a dry place of safety from sea. His dry vein of humor is marked. Fain means gladly. The wills above till a dry death. Gonzalo remarks that ultimately the will of God will prevail, but at the same time says that he himself, however, will be happy to die on the dry land. Dry death means death on land. So the ship is going to be wrecked, but Gonzalo, he wishes to die a dry death. Now let us discuss these lines. Gonzalo, he will be hanged yet. Thou every drop of water swear against it, and gape at widest to glut him. So glut means swallow. So who will be hanged, children? Gonzalo says that boatswain will be hanged. So he is having faith in his belief. He says that it is his destiny to hang, even though every drop in the ocean should swear to the contrary and should open its mouth as wide as possible to swallow him. To swallow whom, children? To swallow the boatswain. A confused noise within. Mercy on us. We split. Farewell, my wife and children. Farewell, brother. We split. Now what does he say? So a confused noise comes within. So the ship is going to be dashed to pieces by the rocks. So Gonzalo is bidding farewell to his wife, children, brother, because he knows this thing, that ship is going to be wrecked. Antonio, let all of them should go down into the sea with the king. Sebastian, let's take leave of him. So what does Sebastian say? Let all of them should bid farewell to the king. So Antonio and Sebastian leave, means they jumped into the water. Gonzalo, now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furze, anything. The wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death. Now what does he say? At the same time, Gonzalo is prepared to give away 1,000 furlongs of sea. That is 1/8 part of a mile for 1 acre of dry land. Be it barren land or be it grown with such plants as ling, heath, broom and furze or any other kind of vegetation. So at last he says that ultimately the will of God will prevail, but at the same time says that he himself, however, will be happy to die where, children? To die on the dry land. And he also exit. Now let us see the gist of these lines. Gonzalo, the old courtier, makes a remark that the boatswain is not likely to be drowned because he is destined to be hanged. Since he is not to be drowned, so with him aboard the ship cannot sink. There is a strange noise, perhaps the sound of thunder, splitting wood or roaring water, and the cry of mariners. Antonio, Sebastian and Gonzalo, preparing to sink to a watery grave, go in search of the king. Gonzalo remarks that ultimately the will of God will prevail, but at the same time says that he himself, however, will be happy to die on the dry land. His last words hold out a little hope for their survival. So children, I hope that you are clear with the explanation of the lines 34 till 69. For more understanding, please read the text with its explanation, which is given in your The Tempest textbook. So now let us see your homework. Your homework is to do extract 3 and 4 of Act 1, Scene 1 of The Tempest on your workbook at pages 28 till 32. Children, you have to revise your text so that you can quote the lines in your paper for getting good marks. Thank you so much.